Why? What the hell is going on? Chelsea Football Club have just snatched Arsenal's chains. You know they say food chain this summer. There is a recurring theme this summer, and that is food chain. I can't believe it. Chelsea Football Club have managed to hijack the deal and go in and get Morgan Rogers for 100, I repeat, 170 million. It was destined for Arsenal. Yes, Chelsea had links. Yes, Chelsea were exploring the deal for Morgan Rogers. But I tell you what, it was a talk of the town that he was meant to go to Arsenal. They were talking about where he was playing. Troops TV. You told me he could play on the left. He could play central. This is a big blow for Arsenal. This is meant to be one of their key signings this summer. A player who's versatile, who can play different positions. A player who's on the up. A player who's got Premier League experience. A player that can add value. This is not a good thing for Arsenal. You can do the copium all you want. You can say you got Solis Sky from Club Brugge. But Chelsea Football Club, I absolutely commend you. Okay, the price is ludicrous. It should not be acceptable to pay that sort of money for Morgan Rogers, 170 million. The market is gone. Football is gone. But I tell you what, man, if you talk about ambition, if you talk about Xabi Alonso saying, what do I want? If you talk about a club that's setting a precedent to say, right, we're not a banter club anymore. We need to show some ambition. That is ambition. That right there is ambition. Fair play to Chelsea Football Club. Because they could have went silent. They could have allowed him to go to that football club. They could have allowed him to go to Arsenal and say, you know what, we're not involved. But as a football club right now, when I looked at your window, it was underwhelming. You bought some random Donny, who apparently is Premier League Defender of the Italian Defender of the Year. We don't know him. We don't watch Italian football every week. You're about to sign this other player as well. We don't know him. Emega, cool, unproven at the highest level. This right here, Rodgers, that excites Chelsea. Because you know why? Now, the way that you play with 2 10s, right? Morgan Rogers, where does he like to play? In them 10s, in them half pockets. Cole Palmer one side, Morgan Rogers on this side. We might get a double. Yo, who's trademarking this right now? Yo, there might be a cold celebration. It might be cold at Chelsea right now. It might be cold at Chelsea right now.
Together, and we start with a story regarding Morgan Rogers, guys, because it's a big story of the day, an incredible story, a big hijack by Chelsea. I would describe it as a pre-hijack. Why? Because the situation of Morgan Rogers has been clear for some weeks now, since the end of May, beginning of June, when there have been several conversations. And so they started the deal for Morgan Rogers. Arsenal were in very advanced talks with the player. There were meetings between Arsenal and the player representatives, several meetings. The player was also involved in some direct meetings. So Arsenal were going all in terms of contract, and the personal terms were not a problem. Morgan Rogers was open to that. There was some tactical kind of doubt on player side, but never financial. The contract was always ready and almost agreed. Then the plan at Arsenal was, after signing Christos Solis to replace Leandro Trossard from next week, when the player returns from the World Cup, to meet Aston Villa and try get a deal done for Morgan Rogers. Let me tell you, Arsenal were never going to offer 117, 120, 130 million pounds. For Arsenal, the realistic value of the player was around 90, 100 maximum million pounds, no more than this, but they wanted to start a conversation from next week. What happened in the last 24 hours is that Chelsea entered the deal in a very strong way. Chelsea had a direct meeting with Aston Villa. This direct meeting was very direct, very strong by Chelsea, because they wanted to close the deal immediately. Chelsea arrived with the idea to get the player, not to start a negotiation. And so why I say a pre-hijack? Because it's preparing what was going to happen with Arsenal. So officially Arsenal didn't bid. but Arsenal were gonna bid. That's the situation. And Chelsea have been very aggressive, ready to pay £117 million, a very big fee for Morgan Rogers, and then also to give the player a 6-year deal with an option for further season, higher number compared to what Arsenal wanted to offer, but also the intention to involve Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso was calling Morgan Rogers, Xabi Alonso was involved in the direct conversations with the player, and so Chelsea were very fast to close everything immediately and to get Morgan Rogers to the club. So the deal is done. We can say that everything is in place. The player will be in London next week, beginning of next week. From Monday, the process will start for medical test and contract signing, and so huge bomba. Chelsea sign Morgan Rogers. And let me mention also that the situation could now impact the wingers market and the strikers market in general in different ways. Because
reintroduce myself. My name is Chelsea. A David Ornstein Bomber Klotz. Rogers. £117 million Elizabeth Sterling from Aston Villa. As a priority, Chelsea. And Xabi Alonso the preference. Food chain, bitch! Food chain! Food chain! Are you mad? What is going on? What on earth is going on? I was doing DIY. Do it yourself. If nobody else will. This is not Eze 2.0. This is not Tottenham. This is the mighty Chelsea. That came out of nowhere from the top rope. Landed it on the canvas. This is why we love the David Ornstein Bomber class. Because they just come out of nowhere. I am shell-shocked. I am bamboozled. I am dazed. I am delirious. I am dumbfounded. Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea.